so I watched Akira, the 1988 cyberpunk animated film, which is a cult classic. And according to a quick Google research, Akira showed the world that an animated film could be catered to a mature audience. Check out my trailer review to see what I thought the movie was going to be about. So originally I thought Akira was Kaneda. So because of the cultural classic image of Kaneda and his infamous bike, I thought he was Akira and the movie was all about him. I was kind of wrong, I guess. I was right about the human evolution thing, though. Okay, let me get into the story. Quick spoiler warning, even though the movie has been out for 35 years. So anyway, the movie starts off with us following Kaneda and his gang just messing about. So they are a group of orphans, I'm guessing, from the backstory we see later. But they cause mayhem on their motorcycles and beef with other motorcycle gangs. While they are out causing havoc, we are then moved to a scene of a man dragging what looks like a green kid with an old face. It doesn't look like father and son type relationship, and even after finishing the movie, I have no idea who that person was. I'm guessing it's one of the scientists. The kid looks like a zombie. They are being chased by cops or an army, I'm not really sure. So they are running until they get cornered. The scientist releases his grip on the green kid and tells him to run.
What are you waiting for?
The kid then proceeds to run, and the army or whoever was chasing them let off rounds in this scientist. I mean, they let the whole clip up. They did not spare him a single bullet. They had the corpse doing a triple-double and dying. I don't get what he even did to make them that mad. I mean, they get firing like they were trying to recreate SpongeBob, just leaving him with hella holes. Pause. They did that guy dirty. Okay, let me get back to it. So the green kid runs off and the army people are still looking for him. Meanwhile, Kaneda and his gang are trying to escape from something. I think they were evading the police or a rival gang. But in doing so, one of the members end up riding their bike into the direction of the green kid trying to escape. As he's about to hit him, there's like a force field the green kid creates to protect himself. So Tetsuro, one of the members of Kaneda's gang, was the kid on the bike who was riding towards the kid. He crashed into the force field. This caused quite a scene. The green kid is frozen in shock and a chopper comes down. It's got another green person in it. They kind of look like Donald Trump, but like the Richie Rich version from Drawn Together, but he's green. He's like in some Mobius chair type thing. And beside him talking with him is that bald guy I was talking about. He's like the general. Just did some homework and found out those creepy green people are called espers.
Do your homework. Do your fucking homework. If I had to wear this shit, it hit different. Do your homework.
And that green kid with the old man is named Takashi. Anyways, Donald Trump and the bald guy step down from the chopper to talk to Takashi and tell him to stop running and come back home. He goes back with them. The other soldiers with them see Tetsuo unconscious on the ground, and they take his body. Kaneda, who I'm assuming is the leader of the gang, is trying to get to them to see where they are taking his friend Tetsuo. Unfortunately, him and his gang end up getting taken by the police, whilst his friend has been kidnapped by the secret group of the bald guy. Wait a minute, that guy ain't even bald. My bad, I will stop referring to him as the bald guy. It's the Colonel. So the Colonel. But they've taken Tetsuo away on their chopper and fled the scene. Soon after this event, the gang are released from the police station. Kaneda even manages to set another girl free who was also in the police station. They begin to discuss how to look for their friend. Meanwhile, at the secret facility, they start experimenting on Tetsu, and once he's regained consciousness, he starts having these migraines and his demeanor changes. They release him back to the public, and Tetsuo goes back to school or the boarding house. From there, he picks up his girlfriend and steals Kaneda's bike. He goes for a ride with his girlfriend at the back, but then he gets caught by a rival gang. They jump him and strip his girl. Man, that gang had no morals. Anyways, they gave Tetsu a beating too. Kinda sad because they even saw him with a bandage on his big head and still got their licks in. How you causing more injury to an injured person? Some folks just raised evil. Meanwhile, back at the boarding house, I think. Kaneda has found out his bike was stolen by Tetsu, and at this point he did not even know Tetsu was about. He was furious. Tetsu took his bike. So Kaneda and the gang went out to go and look for Tetsu and the stolen bike. Eventually, they find him getting roughed up, so they get down ready to squabble. The rivals have run off, but they catch one lacking, and Tetsu is beating dude. I mean, he is laying in that dude with the kicks. He is fresh from his own ass beating too. So you know he's just fueling each blow with pure adrenaline and anger? Fair play to dude. They had him all the way fucked up, I'll be honest. Like why they do his girl like that, and do him like that in front of her. Shit would be a different story with me in the cut. I'm just playing. Anyways, Kaneda tells Tetsu to calm down on the guy. He notices something isn't right with Tetsu and checks his friend. Tetsu gets a bit angry and shouts back at Kaneda. Then he just rubs it off as he is having repeat migraines. This is where we see the infamous Akira meme scene.
Leave me alone! Akira!
Then he gets kidnapped again. I think the scientists were monitoring him. They do more experiments on him. Skip a few scenes, Tetsu is recovering on a hospital bed, but he's hallucinating heavy. Then he steps on some glass which kind of stops the hallucinations, but it was really the espers checking up on him. This scene was sly creepy because of the music, but what really made it creepy for me was the green Donald Trump just casually drifting away. While all this is happening, there's mayhem on the streets of Neo-Tokyo. They are talking about Akira like a prophecy. This is causing political problems, and Kaneda is out searching for his friend alongside the girl he managed to free from the police station. It turns out she is part of a revolutionary team. Okay, back to Tetsu. He discovers he now has powers thanks to the experiments they did on him. But he keeps getting Akira drilled in his big head, so he wants to find Akira. I honestly don't know why he wants to look for Akira. He keeps asking everyone who Akira is, but nobody tells him. The creepy triplets, the espers, warn him to leave Akira alone. But Tetsu just being big-headed. He just flexes his powers and tells the espers, the scientist and the colonel, they are not strong enough to stop him. He then goes out on a rampage to Olympic Park where Akira is stored. He takes on helicopters and tanks and just goes about murdering and killing for fun. He then reaches Olympic Park. Oh wait, there's a big scene I missed. He went to his old hangout spot and killed the bartender there. A couple of his friends from the biker gang arrive and he starts laughing like a maniac. And I think he kills one of them, but the other gets away and tells Kaneda, Tetsu is now a madman and he's fucking shit up. For some reason, Kaneda goes after him. I don't know why he does this. If it were me, I'll stay clear from that madman. So Kaneda finally meets Tetsu at the Olympic Park on his bike, but he's got some weapon from Overwatch or some shit. And it's actually causing damage to Tetsu. Note earlier, Tetsu was unaffected by a missile from a tank, but this futuristic Ray Blicky Kaneda god is giving Tetsu the business. Anyways, they squabble for a bit. Then, Tetsu's arm is finished. I can't remember what happened, but something happened to his arm. Once his arm is damaged, he uses the rubble to reconstruct a new arm with his power. This didn't go to plan because it ended up with his cybernetic arm getting out of control. He lost power and ended up turning into a monster. Then he pleads for Kaneda's help. What do you expect him to do for you now? He ain't your daddy. Screaming like a little bitch. Now nigga, hold your lick like a man. Crying when shit hits the fan. You wanted to be the man, right? Such a bitch. The saddest part of this scene, I would say, was his girlfriend. So when he was transforming into a monster, his body engulfed his girlfriend into the layers of skin and crushed her. Everyone else had some breathing room and space to escape, but his own girl, who was ride or die, held him down even when he was a madman. Watched him get his ass beat all over Neo-Tokyo, and still stood right beside him. Didn't even make it. What type of shit is that? How you really a ride or die for a bitch boy like Tetsu? She went out sad for a lame-ass nigga. Anyways, while Tetsu is still growing, the espers managed to summon Akira from the canisters they had. I don't know how they did it, they just started kneeling together as if they were praying to Akira or some shit. They just look creepy doing anything. Akira appears and he looks like a kid, but for some reason we see his X-ray. I don't really get it. But yeah, Akira is shown briefly and then does a spirit bomb. Then that's it. Canada escapes and Tetsu is a pack. I can't really explain the ending. I'll be so real I have no clue what happened. Just flashbacks, music, and bright lights. I kinda rushed the summary as I'm going off memory. So it was the first time I watched this film. I enjoyed it. It was a good watch, but I feel it's a movie that needs to be watched more than once to get a true grasp of all that is going on. At first, I did not get why it is a cult classic, but after my Googles, I understood there was more factors which contributed for it being so, especially around that time as well. The movie is way older than me, so the animation produced at that time was really good. I know I probably watched a remastered version, but even so it was quite clean and probably would appear the same way on television screens of that time as well. I think there has been a real-life movie made. I don't think I'm going to give that a watch. I can appreciate the animated version enough. I enjoyed the characters. Kanda we saw is a by any means possible type of guy. He was the leader, but always checking for his friends. Tetsu was a dickhead. Point blank period. To be honest, it wasn't his fault. He was a victim his whole life. He got some juice and ran with it. Starting living his true repressed intentions and being the guy he wanted to be. The experimentation and meds definitely contributed as well, but deep down he was a dickhead. And when the stove got too hot, he wanted to leave the kitchen, and rightfully so. But he made his bed he needs to lay in it with his big forehead self. The creepy triplets could give me nightmares. What even are they? Are they aliens? Projects? Spirits? Demons? Like, look at them, bro. Really, look. If you saw this in a Dark Ally, you would clear the scene. They are so damn ugly. Especially fake-ass Donald Trump with his hoovering pushchair. The real victim in all this is Kaori. She needs justice. Stood by her man like a real one through thick and thin. Good times and bad times. They done ripped her clothes, gave her full swing to the face, dropped her, beat up her man, turned her man insane, watched her man go crazy, and then to be crushed by her man. So sad. I will keep it all the way a buck if I was Tetsu. I would have probably done the same shit. But first things first, I would have got down the creepy triplets. Just on the account they creep me out. After that, I'm taking over the world. I'll say I'm the true Akira and then do the regular world domination antics. Anyways, for a rating, I would give it 7.5. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't call it a great. You can drop in the comments if you think I'm bugging. I honestly was not sure what I was going to expect when I watched this, but what I saw was a good watch. I would definitely recommend this as a watch. It was a solid movie with a god plot and solid structure. You know what, I'm done. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like with the thumbs up. If you got some thoughts to share, please let me know down below. I'm always open to suggestions to improving my content, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And don't forget to join the team and subscribe. If you can help support, it's much appreciated. Check out my other videos. Drop some suggestions of what I should watch. I am always open on suggestions to improving my content, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Enjoy your day and stay blessed.
Leave me alone! Ah!